Okay, so this topic is all about state of stress at a point. So let's consider a body that is acted upon by a system of coplanar forces in equilibrium. So ito yung mga forces natin. We have P1, P2, up to P4. Okay, then ang concern natin is yung major interest natin is at this point O. Yung point O natin, pwede natin siyang ma-expose if we cut a certain plane, through a certain plane, pwedeng AA, pwedeng BB, pwede rin na iba, right? So let's say, mag-pass through tayo na lang ng reference plane natin na AA and then i-cut natin doon sa section AA. So ito yung section AA natin. So i-cut natin dyan yung body. So ito yung magiging FBD. Okay? So of course, nandito pa rin yung forces P2 and P1 natin. So let's say the resultant of this P1 and P2 is nandito. Okay? You have here R. That's the resultant. So ang meron tayo dito na na-expose na internal loading is a normal force. So tawagin natin siyang N, pero in terms of stresses, i-divide natin sa area. So we have a normal stress. So wala muna tayong shear stress because yun nga yung resultant is only perpendicular to our cross-section. And then let's say mag-explore tayo, i-explore natin yung point O but using a different reference plane, etong BB. Okay, so what will happen? So ito yung ating reference plane BB, dito tayo nag-cut. So again, nandito pa rin ang P2 at saka P1. And then, ang ating resultant, di ba, nandito. So it's not actually perpendicular to our cross-section. So we expect that we have here a normal stress and then we have a shearing stress. Okay, so ano yung nakita natin dito? Nakita natin that the two sets, etong set 1 using reference plane AA at saka reference plane BB, even though we are concerned at point O, which lahat ng set na to is nagko-contain talaga ng point O, they contain different stresses, di ba? Yung dito is normal stress lang ang present sa kanya, while this one, meron siyang normal stress and meron siyang shearing stress. This is true because yung stress talaga ng isang point, magdidepende yan sa reference plane kung saan natin siya gi-expose. Okay? So, hindi porket same point lang siya, you can cut through any plane you want and you expect that you will get the same result for the stresses. No, it's not true. Okay, so ito yung nandito. In general, the two sets of stresses would not be equal although they are computed at the same point because the resultant forces acting on the two planes are not equal. Now, ano yung problem natin dito? Ang problem natin dito is if we want to compute the stresses acting on an arbitrarily chosen na plane, reference plane, for example, at section AA at saka section BB, ang problem natin is hindi natin agad-agad magamit yung formula na napag-aralan natin, which is for bending stress, for shearing stress, kasi yung formulas na yon, they are actually used for certain reference planes only. Okay? Did you notice that in our discussion of bending stress, di ba, if this is our, let's say this is our beam, pagkat natin dito, okay, so dito lalabas yung ating shearing force, and then ito may bending moment. So from that, we will compute our sigma B, and that is M if maximum, so MC over I. Okay, so if you observe yung section natin for the calculation of the bending stress is actually a cross section that is normal to the longitudinal axis. Tama? also our normal force. Yung normal force natin, diba, if mayroong normal force na present dyan, so pag i-compute natin yung normal stress, so you have the normal force over area. And that area here is perpendicular to the longitudinal axis. Diba? Doon din sa shearing stress natin, if you have your shear, then you have VQ over IT para makuha yung shearing stress. But this is good for reference planes that are complementary. Pwede na perpendicular to our longitudinal axis. So, pwede natin makuha yung shearing stress distribution dito. And pwede rin yung nandito. Diba? Kasi napag-aralan natin na equal din yan. But, hindi pa tayo naka-encounter ng cross-section na hindi ganito yung case. Let's say, for example, naka-incline siya dyan. Naka-incline dito. So, ano yung nararamdaman niya na stress? No? Okay? So, yun yung problema, isa sa mga problema natin, that it is not possible to compute directly the stresses that exist on an arbitrarily chosen surface plane because the available formulas give stresses on certain reference plane only. Pangalawang problem is that yung stresses and shearing stress, yung normal stress and shearing stress na nakukompute natin through the formulas, yung ito, yung yan, they are not actually the maximum normal stress and the maximum shearing stress. Okay, hindi yan. Hindi talaga yan yung maximum. Mapag-aaralan natin mamaya that yung location kung saan matatagpuan natin yung maximum normal and maximum shear stress is actually at an inclined plane. No, somewhere like this. So, a certain angle na na-incline siya, doon natin makikita yung ating maximum normal stress and maximum shearing stress. So, in our design, critical na malaman natin, di ba, itong maximum normal and maximum shearing stress. So, with the previous knowledge discussion that we have, kung yun lang yung basihan natin, hindi natin masolve itong mga important or critical points na kailangan din in our design. So that's why this topic is very important, the state of stress at a point. Okay, but what do you mean by state of stress at a point? So state, by the words itself, state, kung ano yung state ng stress at a certain point. Kung ano yung state of stress at a certain point. And to be able to define the state of stress components acting on the sides of a differential volume element that encloses the point, that is the definition of stress at point. So if meron tayong point, let's say this point, gusto nating ipakita yung state of stress niya. So let's enclose the point with a differential volume. So usually that is a rectangular form, no? Ito. So, isama natin sa figure kung ano yung mga stresses na nafe-feel niya on the mutually perpendicular planes. If we are talking about plane stress. Plane stress, ibig sabihin 2D lang class yung ating pinag-uusapan. So, sa X and Y-axis lang. So, pwede siyang i-project sa isang plane lang. So, you have a plane stress. So, alam natin that this point, possible na meron siyang normal stress here. So, tawagin natin sigma X. Possible din na meron siyang sigma Y here. Another normal stress, pero along the Y direction. Okay, and we know that kung ano yung nandito sa right equals sa left. Diba? Kung ano yung nasa taas, papunta sa taas, equals to the papunta rin sa baba by equilibrium. And hindi lang yan yung pwedeng maging present sa ating point, pwede rin na meron tayong shear. So, shearing stress. So, we have, diba? We have that one wherein alam natin that the values of this shearing stress are actually equal. They're just opposite in direction. So knowing this, etong lahat, yung stresses that is present at the mutually perpendicular sides of the point, no, that is enclosed by differential volume, this defines the state of stress of our point. Okay? And pag malaman natin to, this is very helpful kasi it enables us to calculate stress components that act on any plane passing through that point. So let's say for example, ang gusto mo is at this plane passing through our point, let's say 30 degrees from the horizontal, you want to know the state of stress ng ating point, pwede mo siyang makuha if you have defined this original state of stress ng ating point. Okay? And another thing, pag alam mo yung state of stress ng point, pwede mo rin mahanap yung maximum stress in a body. That is crucial in the evaluation of the strength ng isang material. Okay? So, to do this, before we proceed to our solving na part, let's learn muna the sign conventions that we need to adapt in the state of stress. Okay? So, remember that these sign conventions, ang i-discuss natin is for biaxial stress. So, yung stress na acting lang on yung load natin, let's say this is y at saka x. So, in this direction lang tayo makaka-feel ng stress. But, pwede rin to class mag-apply itong sign convention for triaxial stress, like if we have stresses not only in y and x but also in z. So, let's say this is y, this is x, and this is z. Okay? So, first na kailangan natin malaman is yung mga tinatawag nating phase. Okay? So, in a biaxial or in a plane stress, meron tayong x phase and then meron din tayong y phase. So, x phase is, erase ko muna ito class para okay. So, saan dito ang ating x phase at saka y phase? So, define ko muna yung axis class. So, this is positive x, this is positive y. So, meron tayong positive x and positive y. The phases takes its name from the coordinate axis normal to it. So, if this is the coordinate axis x, yung normal sa kanya na plane is tinatawag natin na x phase. Okay? But this is the positive x na axis, right? So, this is our positive x phase. Okay? Likewise, dito naman, negative x kasi to. So, this phase here, etong phase dito, is negative x na phase. Okay? Then, dito naman, this is our positive y phase. So, yung phase or plane or surface na normal to this positive y, tatawagin nating positive y phase. Then, ito naman is negative y phase. So, kung triaxial yan, so dagdagan nyo lang, ito yung z phase na positive, and then yung sa likod yung negative z phase na, okay, negative z phase. Okay? Aside from that, yung mga stresses na mag-occur sa ating differential volume enclosing our point. So, meron din tayong sign convention. but yung sa naming muna tayo. So, tatawagin natin yung stress acting in the positive x, acting on the x phase of the differential volume as sigma x, yung normal stress acting in the x phase. So, sigma x. So, sigma x yan. So, depende, pwede yang maging positive class or negative. Pag positive, that indicates na tension ang nature ng ating normal stress. And then, pag negative naman, it indicates na compression siya. But if you are drawing the state of stress, pwedeng hindi mo nalagyan ng positive or negative as long as naka-indicate yung proper direction ng ating sigma x. So, kung positive siya, away from the element or away from the phase. Kung compression siya, towards the phase. Okay? Yung sa kabilang phase naman, yung sa opposite phase, yung negative x phase, yung normal stress na meron siya should be equal to the sigma x na nandito sa x phase pero opposite sila ng direction. Okay, so kung to the right ito naman to the left. So, yan. Then, similarly, yung sigma y, this is the normal stress acting on the y phase. So, kung tension siya, so away from the element, sigma y. And on the opposite phase, that is equals also to sigma y but acting on the opposite direction. Okay, how about the shear stresses? So, yung shear stresses, mapapansin natin yung pag-name, yung mga names nila is, it's made up of dalawang subscript, x and y, pwedeng y and x, or any combination. So, ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng mga subscript na to? The first subscript indicates kung saan nag-a-act yung shearing stress natin on what phase. So, if x ang nandito, so the shearing stress is acting on the x phase. Then, yung pangalawang subscript, saan nag-a-act na direction? In the y direction, in the x direction, or in the z direction. Okay? So, dito, kung ito yung direction ng ating shearing stress, ang pangalan nito class is tau, since it's acting on the x phase, so tau x, and then saan papunta? Iba sa y direction, so this is tau xy. Okay? And sa kabila, we know that equal lang sila but opposite in direction, so this is also tau xy. Okay? And then next, kung dito naman, we know that itong apat, they are equal, right? Okay. So, pero yung pangalan nila, magkakaiba. Ito lang yung parehas. Ito ring dalawa dito, yung magkaparehas. So, ang pangalan naman nito is shearing stress acting in the y phase. Diba? Dito, y phase yan. So, tau y, and then saan siya nag-a-act na direction? In the x direction. So, that is our tau yx, and this is also our tau yx. So, that's how you properly name or label the stresses on the differential volume enclosing a point. So, this is very important para ma-proper natin na ma-draw at saka ma-understand natin kung ano talaga yung mini-mean na stresses, saan siya nag-a-act ng mga planes. Okay? So, if let's say here, triaxial yung stress natin. So, don't worry, similar lang sila ng concept. So, i-try natin kung na-understand ba natin yung proper labeling of the stresses. Okay, so this one is our, kung may normal stress dyan, sigma x, tama? How about here? Okay, sigma y, right? Dito naman, sigma z. So, hindi ko na isulat yung sa opposite niya, ha? Okay, next. Possible na may shear tayo dito. And then, since triaxial to, meron din siyang shear dito. So, ang pangalan ng shear dito is tau, acting in the y phase, going in the x direction. Dito naman, tau acting in the y phase, going in the z direction. Okay. How about dito sa x phase. So, meron tayong shearing stress dyan. Meron din dito, parallel to the z. So, ang tawag dito, tau acting on the x phase. So, tau x and then papunta sa y direction. This is also tau x and then papunta sa z direction. Okay? So, dito naman, you have the shearing stress there and then dito din. So, ang tawag naman dito, tau z y and this is tau z x. So, yan. Ganun siya, class. Okay, so transformation of plane stress. So, just like we have discussed in the very start of this discussion, na di ba magkakaiba ng stress yung makukuha natin if we have different reference planes, although we have same na point, magkakaiba talaga yan. So, similarly, yung element natin, class, if this is our point, yung state of stress na meron tayo dito, yung mga nandyan, pag i-orient natin yung element at a certain inclination, hindi na siya ganito. Like, for example, ito yung original na x and then y. Then, i-tilt natin siya at a certain angle, let's say theta. So, naging ganito na siya, y prime. So, yung state of stress natin dito at point A, wag niyong expect na equal lang sa mga na-solve natin dito. Kasi magkaiba talaga. Okay, so magkaiba yan. Yung value dito, yung dyan, dito, dyan. Okay, so dito at saka dyan. So, magkaiba talaga. And paano natin ma-solve yung state of stress na na-transform, no? Pwede tayong gumamit ng dalawang ways. Using yung tinatawag natin na transformation equation for stress. And then, meron din tayong Morse circle. Now, yung sa transformation equation for stress, nag-involve yan ng use or paggamit ng maraming equation from the word itself na equations for stress. Marami yung equations, so to be able to use this, kailangan alam mo paano siya na-derive, ano yung mga variables doon sa equation natin. Tapos, kailangan if kaya mong i-memorize, no? So, medyo mahirap siya, yung transformation equation, if hindi mo talaga siya naintindihan. Okay? Tapos, mahirap din i-memorize, i-remember yung formulas. Now, yung pangalawang method natin is yung Morse circle is a graphical representation ng transformation equation for stress. So, ang kagandahan nito, with the graph, pwede mong ma-visualize yung state of stress ng point natin properly. And with the visualization, pwede mo siyang applyan ng trigonometry for analysis. Makukuha mo na yung different stresses at different planes. At different orientation ng element, makuha mo talaga siya. So, you do not need to memorize the formula. You just have to know how to properly use this method. Paano i-graph yung Morse circle. So, out of these two, ang i-tackle lang natin is using the Morse circle. So, I will skip this one, the transformation equations for stress. But if you want to have the knowledge about transformation equation for stress, you can refer to our reference books. So, particularly, yung kay Pytel, pwede din kay Hibler, at saka yung kay Singer. Okay? So, sa next video, we will talk about how to do the Morse circle. Okay?